Alright, guys. Hello there, people. I know, it's been a month, I know. But, I'm here because we are about a week away from Justice League being released. So, I've decided today's video will be kind of me going through the DCEU films, like when the 4 films we have so far. I'll somewhat, and a few of them are going to be mini reviews because some have already pretty much went in depth on. So, but, and let me just start off by, like, what I think of the DCEU so far. Or, you know what, I'll start with the films. So, the DCEU kicked off in 2013 with Man of Steel. And Man of Steel, me going into it, my thing with Man of Steel was, at that point, we had just been having shit Superman films. Let's be honest. We've had shit Superman films since Superman 2. Let's be honest. I feel like the last really okay Superman film was Superman 2. Because then after that, we started getting films like fucking Superman 3, Superman 4, and then Superman Returns. So going into Man of Steel, my mentality was, if this sucks, I'm done with Superman. And then I watched it, and it's directed by Zack Snyder, and it was a really awesome movie. Henry Cavill's debut as Superman, and I think he did really well in this. And the story mainly is pretty much the origins of Superman. You see Krypton getting, exploding, him landing on Earth, except they don't do his whole life. Like, pretty much it jumps. Like, as soon as he lands, it pretty much jumps to him as an adult. But there are a bit of flashbacks of him as a kid. And I think those scenes were well done. And then Zod, who was, put in the Phantom Zone for years, got himself out, found Superman, invades Earth. Superman has to try to... And you gotta keep in mind, the people that criticize this movie, a lot of the biggest criticisms, which I somewhat already touched on them in the defending Henry Cavill's Superman video I did. It's basically people just didn't want to accept, buildings were getting destroyed. They didn't like that. They didn't like that. You got to keep in mind, this Clark had only been Superman for a day at that point. Like, he just got his suit the day before. He's not going to be, super trained in fighting. But overall, I even love the ending with Superman killing Zod, and then he let out that emotional yell. And then, after that, they announced they were going to do Man of Steel 2 was going to include Batman. And I was all anxious, and I didn't, the first time now we're going to have the world's finest basically come together in a film. And then they announced Ben Affleck's gonna be Batman, and I was shocked because I didn't hate Ben Affleck. It wasn't that. It was just I felt like Ben Affleck was a kind of a weird choice, and we basically BVS. Then they announced it was just gonna be called Batman vs Superman, and originally it was supposed to come out in 2015, but I think something happened and the film was moved to 2016, so we had to wait another 3 years at that point. 3 years later, in 2016, it came out, and I remember the promotions for this movie. It seemed like, this is going to be something different, and it wasn't a predictable superhero film. Now, and you guys have seen, back then when it came out, I, in a way, reviewed the film twice, because I did the Ultimate Edition, too. But I'm just going to give a bit of a summary, because I pretty much have already reviewed it. But BVS it's set 3 years after Man of Steel. And Ben Affleck, Batman, we learn from the ground that he saw what happened, and he felt like Superman brought that destruction. And this is a jaded Batman that lost Robin. We as we see that he's a lot more brutal, and Batman had been around for 20 years. And some of the contentions I've seen with this film is one thing. People didn't like that they didn't do the whole individual heroes thing like Marvel does. And my counter to it is, we already know at that point, we just came off another solo Batman movie, Dark Knight Rises. Do we really need another solo Batman film? We know Batman's origin. We know all that. And that's why I'm happy they decided, let's do an established Batman. I like how the DCU is like, you know what, let's just have established characters already. Like, Batman had been Batman for 20 years. Like, I really like that. And I think Batman v Superman did a good job in world building. Because, really, to me, I know a lot of people, I know I said Man of Steel is sort of the start of the DCU officially, but in my opinion, in terms of the timeline, I would say Dawn of Justice was the one that really established the DCU as a universe, because Man of Steel really was just about Superman. Whereas Dawn of Justice, we all learned, like, Wonder Woman, we heard these other heroes like Aquaman, Flash, like other metahumans, Batman's being established. Like, there's already, it really does seem like it's a big world builder movie, and I think it did a good job in that, at least in my opinion. I know a lot of people have their opinions on this film, and it's a very divisive film, but I think it did a good job in setting up the DCEU. Did a good job for setting the stage for Justice League, and then ultimate. And here's the thing: Warner Brothers fucked up by not just releasing that 3-hour cut initially, because I think if they did, it would have gotten a better reception. Because I think that Ultimate Edition really, it literally made me give a higher rating, and I think so. There's that Dawn of Justice 2016. Then after that same year, they were going to do Suicide Squad. And Suicide Squad, I didn't know much about. I mean, I knew who they were, but I didn't know much about the team. And here's the thing with Suicide Squad. The timeline is set after Dawn of Justice. I don't know, like, the actual time, I don't know how long after BVS it is. It seems like, from what it looks like, it seems like it's a few months after. It doesn't seem like it's a whole year. So, and Amanda Waller wants to create a team of bad guys to come together and do sort of missions. And this film was directed by David. I can't think of his name right now, but David Goyer. There you go. And this film, it was rushed and it was reshot a couple of times. But here's the thing: overall, and I've reviewed this film too. They had a little bit extended. It seems like there was sort of an extended cut for Suicide Squad. But here's the thing: it didn't help it like BVS did, because for some people, that Ultimate Edition drastically changed. The Suicide Squad, it was just a little bit extra scenes, but it didn't like add that. And my thoughts on it, I've said it before, I think it's a decent film, and I gave it like an 8, but I think there are some flaws. Like, it tried too hard to be Guardians. Like, you notice with some of the music they try to play, and they try to have that Guardians vibe, and I just don't think it worked, at least for this film, because in my eyes, I think it should have been rated R. It should have tried to done something different. It didn't need to try to be Guardians. But I think the team dynamic was decent in it. And I think it also, in terms of the DCU's storyline, I think it does fine. Like, it mentions Superman. And you know, there's cameos like Batman, Flash. You know, but they're not in it much, but it's just cameos. And I think the villain wasn't that great. And hopefully the next time they'll do better. But it's not as bad as people make it. And last but not least, Wonder Woman came out this year, and in a way, it's a prequel. It's set in World War One, and a lot of people's eyes, this is the film that saved the DCU. I don't think so. I really love it, don't get me wrong. But I think I like the other films, but it's definitely one of the better fucking um, superhero films. And Wonder Woman, it really was Gal Gadot's first outing as Wonder Woman on her own, because we didn't really get to see her do much in Dawn of Justice, because really she was only in a couple of scenes. And then she really, in the final fight, it was just her fighting Doomsday. She doesn't like, so we can't really say, so this was like her first outing as a role, and I think she did a good job in it. And I think it does a good job of, it wasn't just a superhero film, it was a period piece, and I think it did a good job there. And I'm happy that it helped give the DCU a little bit of a better opinion now, because now some people are saying it, now Justice League could potentially be good. And it doesn't really set up Justice League because it's set in the past, but and overall, I've enjoyed the DCU, and I'm happy what they're doing. The way they're doing it, I like too. I like having established characters already. I like that supposedly in the next solo films, they're not going to try to make them just tie in together by having a million cameos. Because don't get me wrong, like, as much as I like the MCU, I touched this in my MCU video. You don't, like Spider-Man Homecoming, that was one of my biggest gripes. It didn't feel like a Spider-Man film. It just felt like an MCU film just with Spider-Man in it. Because all it really was... Okay, I know I'm not trying to go on an MCU rant here, but it's just... It feels like the DCU, they're gonna make, like, the Batman trilogy that they're doing. You know, the new one. That with Ben Affleck. I'm hearing that it's basically gonna be... There's not gonna be cameos from, like, any of the Justice League members. It's not going to try to make it build a universe. It's going to basically just be about the Batman story. And that's what it needs to be. And that's really what it needs to be. And I think that's how superhero films should be done. Because it's like a comic. You know, like Justice League is the Justice League comic, but everything else is their own thing. But now I guess I want to touch on and go a bit of a rant here. These fake news DCEU stories that people keep making up. Like, let me touch on this one. The whole Ben Affleck leaving the role. Once again, they're trying to do it again. And then you notice the timing. Oh, Ben Affleck's not sure about his future as Batman a week before Justice League comes out. I'm sorry. It's just... I'm not saying he's not thinking this. But until there's full-on confirmation, I'm not going with fucking rumors. And another story is like, oh, Henry Cavill's not going to be fucking... he's not sure he'll do Man of Steel 2, even though Man of Steel 2 is confirmed. They're working on it. So I'm tired of these fake DCEU stories. I remember a while back there was like because all they would do is take people's quotes out of context. Oh yeah, there you go. That was the other one. When they did the whole DCU, the Batman's not going to be part of the DCU, they made it seem like that's what he was saying. 'Cause Matt Reeves, who did War of the Planet of the Apes, is directing it. And he said, like, oh, it's going to still... He had to re-say it, because he basically, his point was that, yeah, it will be part of the cinematic universe, but that it won't try to do connections. Like, it's not going to be like MCU films where... You know, they throw in a cameo from other characters. It's going to mainly be about Batman. But they were trying to make it seem like, oh, Batman's not part of the DCEU. Like these fake stories. It's like, what the fuck? And I get people hate the DCEU, but it's fucking cringy that people have to find every quote to make it seem like, oh, the DCEU is in trouble. There's this, like, no. And... to the people who said the DCU is a flop are fucking dumb. I'm sorry. Maybe people's eyes it is, but I'm normally don't make this argument, but the DCU money-wise is doing good. I mean, I don't understand. But I just wanted to go through the DCU and say, because I'm liking it, and I'm happy that we're finally getting a Justice League movie. And I hope Justice League, you know, like what Avengers did for the MCU was like 4 years of build-up. That's what this is. This is basically 4 years of build-up. 4 years to finally get to a Justice League movie. And I'm happy for the future of the DC, potentially a Flashpoint movie, Aquaman. We got so much coming. But I just wanted to do this video. I've been saying I've been wanting to do this video for a while. I'll definitely try to see if I can get a video out this weekend. Or not sometime next week. But yeah, guys, I'll see you guys next time. And there will be a Justice League review. When I haven't done like a solid, just straight up movie review in a while. But yeah, there will be Justice League review. Alright, guys. See you guys next time. Peace.